The most dangerous thing you can do to a man who takes you for granted isn't leaving him. It's staying while becoming completely unreachable. It happens the moment you stop offering your heart as a playground and start treating your decisions as sacred laws. I remember the suffocating weight of explaining my worth to someone who was committed to devaluing it. The exhaustion of a heart that gave too much and received too little, vibrating with an anxiety that felt like a permanent shadow. But dark psychology reveals a cold, liberating truth. Your kindness is only a gift if it's protected by a wall he cannot climb. To a manipulator, your empathy is a weakness to be exploited, but your indifference is a ghost that will haunt his ego. In this video, we'll dive into the profound, protective, and transformative insights from dark psychology, drawing from lessons I cherished from my own ascent to reveal how to reclaim your power. Today, let's explore the deep and life-changing wisdom of dark psychology, as I recall the moments these truths were revealed to me, and teach you how to become truly Intouchable. We begin with the sensory diagnosis of a soul in debt. Picture the scene because I know you have lived it. You are sitting in a room where the air feels thin, your chest tight with a familiar apprehension. The only light comes from the cold, blue glare of your phone. You have sent a message, perhaps a vulnerable one, or a simple question about his day. The minutes tick by, turning into hours. The silence of the house becomes an entity, a heavy blanket that smells of stale coffee and unvoiced regrets. You watch the last seen status change, but the bubbles never appear. Your heart does a frantic dance against your ribs, a rhythmic reminder that you are waiting for permission to feel secure. This is the first level of his manipulation, the disrespect of your time. He isn't busy. He is gauging how long you will sit in the dark before you start apologizing for his silence. Dark psychology always made it a point to remind us that he who controls the clock controls the person. If you allow your emotional state to be dictated by the speed of his thumb, you have already lost the game. You are being a good girl, a patient empath, but in his eyes, you are simply a toy that doesn't mind being put back in the box. The brutal truth is that your endless patience has become his permission slip. He doesn't look at your sacrifice and think, "How lucky am I to have her?" He looks at your sacrifice and thinks, "How much more can I take before she snaps?" It is a cold realization, one that feels like ice water running down your spine. Your inner self would be ashamed. You dishonored your worth through pleasing, hoping that by being soft, he would eventually become kind. But kindness without boundaries is just a target. Look at the great empath. Where are your boundaries now? Traded them for a crumb of attention? Traded them for a night without an argument? It is time to implement the 7 shadow rules, the laws of the exhaustion emotional that turn the board around. The first shadow rule is the law of strategic starvation. A manipulator survives on the certainty of your response. He expects you to be there, a constant source of warmth and validation. To make him respect your heart, you must starve his ego. This is not just about not texting back. It is about the energy behind the silence. I remember when I first applied this, the urge to explain why I was quiet was like a physical itch. My heart screamed to fix it, but I stayed still. I watched the notifications pile up, his confusion, then his irritation, then his sudden fake sweetness. By staying silent, I reclaimed the most valuable currency in any relationship, my mystery. When you are no longer predictable, you are no longer controllable. If he ignores your heart, you must remove your presence, not with a shout, but with a quiet, devastating withdrawal. The second shadow rule is the law of the final decision. One of the most common ways he disrespects your heart is by treating your no as the opening of a negotiation. You say you aren't comfortable with something, and he meets you with a barrage of why and "you're just being sensitive." In the past, you would have provided a 5-page essay explaining your feelings. No more. According to timeless dark wisdom, explaining is a form of submission. When you justify your decisions, you are asking for his approval. The Intouchable woman makes a decision and offers no footnotes. If he asks why, your answer is a calm, steady look and the phrase, "Because I have decided." Feel the power in that sentence. It doesn't invite debate. It establishes a law. I recall a conversation with the shadows where I realized that the more words I used, the smaller I became. The fewer words you use, the larger your presence grows in his mind. The third shadow rule is the mirror of indifference. Manipulators often use emotional volatility to keep you off balance. He might be cold one day and intense the next. The empath tries to compensate by being even more loving, trying to stabilize the ship. The shadow rule says, reflect his energy exactly. If he is distant, be a glacier. If he is short with his words, be a whisper. Do not do this to hurt him, but to protect your own emotional economy. If this lesson speaks to you directly, write in the comments the phrase, "My peace is not negotiable." And if you want more content like this, subscribe now. By mirroring him, you stop being the emotional caretaker of the relationship. You force him to feel the coldness he created. I remember the first time I did this. The look of genuine shock on his face when he realized I wasn't going to chase him was better than any apology he could have muttered. The fourth shadow rule is the protection of the sacred boundary. Disrespect often starts small. A joke that stings, a plan canceled at the last minute, a subtle eye roll when you speak. These are tests. He is checking the perimeter of your self-respect. If you let it slide, you are inviting a larger invasion. The rule here is immediate consequence, not a lecture, not a fight, but a consequence. If he makes a joke at your expense at dinner, you don't argue. You simply stand up, pick up your bag, and leave. The clink of your glass against the table should be the last thing he hears. I remember the heat in my face the first time I walked out of a room in silence. It was terrifying. I felt like a villain. But as I walked away, I felt my soul exhaling. I wasn't being mean. I was being honest about what I would tolerate. He will respect your decisions when he realizes they have teeth. The fifth shadow rule is the law of unpredictable empathy. You are a woman of high empathy, and that is a beautiful thing, but it must be a curated gift, not a public utility. He expects your empathy. He uses it like a weapon, playing the victim whenever he is caught in a lie. "I only did it because I was stressed," he says, waiting for you to hug him. The shadow rule dictates that you withdraw empathy precisely when he tries to weaponize his pain to cover his disrespect. Look at him with the detached curiosity of a scientist. Let the silence hang in the air until it becomes uncomfortable. When you stop rewarding his bad behavior with your emotional support, you break the cycle of manipulation. Dark Insights would say that a manipulator without an audience for his drama is just a man standing alone in a room. The sixth shadow rule is the reclamation of the internal narrative. He will try to tell you who you are. He will call you difficult, crazy, or cold. He does this to make you doubt your heart and your decisions. The rule is to never defend your character to someone who is intent on mischaracterizing you. If he calls you cold for setting a limit, don't say, "I'm not cold, I just feel." Instead, say, "You are free to see it that way." By refusing to enter his courtroom, you deny him the role of judge. You know your heart. You know your reasons. His opinion of your boundaries is none of your business. This is the ultimate form of emotional health. I remember the bone-deep fatigue of trying to prove I was a good person to someone who didn't even know what goodness looked like. The moment I stopped defending myself, the chains fell off. The seventh shadow rule is the walk-away power. This is the foundation of all respect. He must know, in the deepest part of his lizard brain, that you are capable of walking away and never looking back. Not as a threat, not as a bluff, but as a fact. The Intouchable woman has a life, a purpose, and a soul that is richer than any relationship. If he disrespects your heart and your decisions after the boundaries have been set, the game is over. Drawing from what I learned in Shadows, the only thing a manipulator fears is the person who doesn't need them. I want to take you to a moment of clarity I experienced, a climax in my own journey of protection. It was a Tuesday afternoon, unremarkable in every way. I was looking at a list of broken promises, the ink smudged by my own tears from weeks prior. And suddenly, like a bolt splitting the sky, the truth hit me. The pain wasn't a punishment for being me. It was a school for becoming who I was meant to be. I looked at the man who had caused so much anxiety, and for the first time, I didn't feel love or hate. I felt nothing. The indifference was a cold, calm wave that washed the streets of my mind clean. I realized that my fight had been a form of hope, and I had no more hope to give to a black hole. I simply put the phone down. I didn't send a final closure text. I didn't ask for my things back. I walked to the window, watched the rain wash the world, and understood that I had finally won. Not by changing him, but by changing my position on the board. I was no longer a piece to be moved. I was the player. My solitude felt like a palace, and his companionship felt like a prison I had finally outgrown. Indifference is the highest form of self-preservation. It is the withdrawal of your light from a place that only wants to live in darkness. When you stop forgiving the unforgivable, you will lose people, but you will find yourself. And the version of yourself you find in that silence is more powerful than any version that was loved by a manipulator. You are making space for a respect that is not negotiated, but commanded by the mere fact of your presence. As you move forward from this video, carry this shield with you. Your worth is a fact, not a debate. The disrespect you tolerated was a temporary shadow, but your ascent is permanent. Thank you for joining me on this exploration of dark psychology's profound wisdom. Apply these insights to your own path. Subscribe for more transformative content, like if this inspired you, and share your thoughts in the comments below. I'm grateful you spent this time reflecting on dark psychology's teachings with me. Let them guide your growth. Hit subscribe to stay protected, and comment your favorite takeaway from today's rules. I will be reading your stories of reclaiming your heart. Stay strong, stay wise, and remember that the most expensive thing you will ever own is your peace. Do not let anyone buy it with cheap words.